This racialization of the thought when the colonizers say that natives' land is a vast continent of savages, riddled with superstitions destined for contempt, weighed down by the curse of God, a country of cannibals, a Negro's country. So, the opposition of ideas, how Fanon explains, the last 20 years had no national literature but negritude literature. The poets of negritude did not stop in Africa. Black voices from all over the world sung together, and there was a common tie and a power that is identical. Fanon takes examples from Arab culture and civilization and their return to the famous Dar el Islam of the 12th to 14th century. There is a lively national feeling among them, and not in Africa. Even so, the spontaneity of the African movement is not found in the Arab League. But men of culture in these colonized countries are all embracing and continental. So, what is this African Cultural Society which Fanon describes? This was created by the African intellectuals to share the experiences and research works. Its aim was to affirm the existence of an African culture and also fulfill another need, which is to exist side by side with the European culture society. But this will result in a universal cultural society. If this happens, then the African society would lose its uniqueness and limit themselves in answering and countering only in the narcissistic Europeans instead of developing their culture. In the first Congress of the African Cultural Society in 1956, they discussed about the problems of the American Negroes and found out that theirs was different from the problems of their African brothers. Since their problems differed, they decided to create an American society for people of black cultures. Fanon explained how culture is first and foremost national, and the problems of Richard Wright or Langston Hughes would have been different from the problems of Leopold Senghor or Jomo Kenyatta. Fanon says that the movement of Negro African or Arab Muslim culture is not towards a national culture. Instead, culture takes passionate emotion to its side, and by realistic paths can be made fruitful, homogeneous, and consistent. Fanon does not want the colonized intellectuals to define themselves in relation to the whites. He tells that national culture is a collective thought process of a people to describe, justify, and extol their struggles of liberation. Intellectuals are empowered to develop a new culture which will serve a new nation.